Welcome everyone. Managing digital business infrastructure is what we will be discussing in this presentation. We will understand what are the various things required to ensure that our presence in the online platform is as effective as it can get be. The agenda is simple, very the basic technologies that needs to be there in terms of both software and hardware, so that we have a vibrant infrastructures for the business for the organizations and its partners, outline the hardware and the software requirement thereby. We need to understand how the employee is going to access the internet, how the hosting of e-commerce services will carry forward. The management issues that comes around it are the practical risk for an organization of failure of managing an e-commerce. Remember, a strategy, if not implemented in a truest spirit and the best of the form, will might backfire. How should the staff access the internet, as the case might be, if we may say so? How should we evaluate the relevance of the web services and the open source software thereby? Digital business infrastructure refers to the combination of hardware such as servers, client, PCs in an organization, that the network used to link this hardware and the software application used to deliver the services to the workers within the digital business and also its partners and customer. Now, this is what needs to be understood time and again. It's both the combination. It is absolutely a smooth coordination between the servers, the client PCs, the network, the everything that comes into place. So you have a website, and if it takes a too long a time to load in the client's PC, the client is only going to lose his or her attention. Probably that means the business is going to lose one or two businesses thereabout or possibilities. So infrastructure includes architecture of the network, the hardware, the software, and where it is located. Finally, the infrastructure can be considered to be included in the methods of publishing data, document access to digital business applications thereby. This is which is very important. A key decision in managing this infrastructure is which elements are located in which company and who is managing them. If it is managed by the in-house company or it has been subletted to a vendor to manage the application, the servers, the network, how do we go across with it? Let me give you an example so that for you to understand what exactly is the five-layer model of digital business infrastructure. Remember, the first layer is customer relationship management, the supply chain management. It's an e-business services application layer. The first layer comes around it. It's all about the customizations and customers things. Then come the system software layers, as in what all browsers it is compatible with, what a server software it is going around it, what a network software that goes around it. Then we will be talking about the transportation of the data, the network layer, the physical network, the transport standard, the TCP or transfer control protocol or internet protocol as IP is concerned around it. The storage, physical layers, permanent magnetic storage on the web servers. Is it that the case? Or is it an optical backup or a temporary storage or the random access memory as RAM is popularly known as? So what are we looking into it? Are we going to update our data, websites time and again? What are we looking? The physical storage becomes much more important. The content and the data layers is the web content from internet, intranet, extranet, internet, customers data, transactions data, clickstream data, you name it and we have it. This becomes much more complex out here. So digital business infrastructure components is what we are looking into is how do we manage all those layers and how does they relate to one another. The different components can be conceived as a different layer with a defined interfaces between each player, as I've already depicted you in the previous slide. The different layers can best be understood in relation to a typical task performed by a user for a digital business system thereby. So yes, Campus in 2000 described the alternative five-level infrastructure of what he refers to as the information system functions. We are talking about storage physical functions, memory and disk, hardware component. We are talking about processing, computation and logic. We are talking about infrastructure. This refers to the human and external interfaces. Also the network referred to as extra structures as the case might be. We're talking about the application, we're talking about the contents, we are talking about the data which we are storing, which we are talking about the data which needs to be updated on a daily basis, weekly basis, hourly basis, monthly basis. What are we looking into it? The intelligence that we want to build around it. If the pixels is what we need to install, if there are any marketing logic that needs to be built upon it, how do we go around transforming this information into our knowledge base, knowledge which is financially viable as a case. The internet timeline, remember the timeline that comes around it, what we will be talking every now and then. The internet is the only latest of the series of development in the way that human race has used technology to disseminate information. If I say disseminate, or we should bifurcate information or distribute information or percolate information to the last person. Every person, everybody should be accessible on the net, and probably they should be aware of what exactly is happening. Campus in 2000 identified 10 stages, not one stage, two stage. It is 10 stages that are part of 5 mega waves of changes. It is evident that many of the major advances in the use of information have happened within the last 100 odd years. Absolutely 100 odd years, things have gone by leaps and bounds. It has indicated the difficulty of managing technological changes. And this is going to continue over a period of time. If it has changed over the last 100 years, for next 100 years, the frequencies is only going to increase manifold. Campus goes on to speculate that the impact of access to lower cost and higher bandwidth technology is what is the call of the day, and it will eventually occur. Look what is happening. From 3G we moved to 4G network, and now we are transforming into a 5G networks altogether. The Netcraft index number of services. Now what I'm talking about is the number of website which was there. There are over 1 billion internet users worldwide, but how big is the infrastructure that we are accessing? One measure is that the number of web servers Netcraft has regularly surveyed since 1995, approximately 27 years from today. To give a picture of the growth of internet, the first survey tranche in 1995 found there are only 18,957 websites. But by August 2008, it was 176 million websites. See the whooping differences. Note that Netcraft measures registered domains and internet IP addresses only. So which we are looking forward to, as the case might be. Some of these domains may not be active with regularly updated content. They might be absolutely monotonous domain. They might be not dynamic. They might be static domain names or website, as the case might be. So intranet are used extensively for supporting sell side views. We are looking at an e-commerce factors from the sell side, wherein we are interested to push our product to the end customers. From within the marketing function, they use a support core supply chain management activities which are described out here all together. A marketing internet has the following advantages. First and foremost thing is the product life cycle, if it can be reduced, and it has been reduced of late. As information of product development and marketing campaign are rationalized, we get to know the product to the market much faster than what we used to do around it. We also have a ready-made availability of information regarding the inventory of a product, and so we can tailor-made the promotion campaign accordingly. Reduce cost through higher productivity is what we are looking into it. Yes, savings on hard copies, because we are no longer transporting, we are no longer packaging it, we are no longer having a hard brick and mortar store retail outlet for it. We just have saving everything on the warehousing, storage, and the expensive rentals that we might have to pay for the commercial property. Better customer services, responsive, personalized support with the staff accessing the customers over web, distribution of information through remote offices nationally and globally, as the case might be. That is what the internet applications are all about. It internet are also used for internal marketing communication, since they include the following types of information: staff phone directories, staff procedures or quality manuals, information for agents such as product specification, current list, discounted prices, competitors information, factory schedules, stocking levels, all of which are normally have to be updated and frequently can be costly. Staff bulletin or newsletter, as the case might be. We are talking about the training courses thereby. Everything can be used for marketing communication. Remember, the phone directory, the procedures, the quality, the DIY or do it yourself kit, the information accessibility, the videos to do around it, everything can be there in the internet, internal marketing communication as the case might be. Yes, we have this firewall as one of those impediments so that we are immune to certain phishing or certain malware altogether that might be trying to hit our website, trying to hit our business in a negative way. A specialized software application mounted on a server at a point where a company is connected to the internet, the gateway I'm talking about, the point where it has been actually been exchange of data is happening with the company servers at the point from the internet to the company server. If we can have a filtering process out there, this particular application is known as a firewall. Its purpose is to prevent unauthorized access to the company from outsider. Firewalls are necessary when creating an intranet or extranet to ensure that outside access to the confidential information does not happen, does not occur. Firewalls are usually created as a software mounted on a separate server at a point where the company is connected to the internet facility thereby. Firewall positions within the digital business infrastructure. How do we go across it? The B2B company, as a case, they say so. You look into it. This is the web application server, and this is where we put on the firewall. Remember, from the web application server, if we go around a database, we are accessing the net from these two things, right? And out here is the firewall which we install with our email server, the FTP server. There's another firewall for the corporate network. So what are we doing around it? Every server that comes around it, there are filtering processes so that unauthorized access to our website, to our business information will be eliminated altogether. Firewall position within digital business infrastructure of the B2B or business to business company. The use of firewall within the infrastructure of a company is illustrated. It is evident that multiple firewalls are used to protect information of the company. The information made available to the third party over internet and extranet is partitioned by another firewall, which is referred to as demilitarized zone or DMZ. Demilitarized zone. Corporate data on intranet are then mounted on the server inside the company as the case might be. This is what we are looking forward to. Internet tools of summary applications on different internet tools. Let us understand SSH, that is secure shell, and telnet. This allows the remote command of access to the computer system. SSH is more secure replacement for telnet, definitely yes. For example, a retailer could check to see whether an item was in the stock in the warehouse using secure shell. Peer-to-peer file sharing is what we are talking about technology using enable sharing of large audio, large video files, let's say through BitTorrent or approaches such as Contiki, as the case might be. Podcasting is a method of downloading and playing audio and video clips. Webcast target portable devices such as iPod or MP3 players. We are talking about VoIP. VoIP is another revolutionary technology that has flooded the market. It's voice over internet protocol, technology for digitally transmitting of voice over LAN or internet. Widget, a badge or a button incorporated into a site or a social network by its owner with contents or services typically served from another site, making the widget much more effective in a mini software application or a web services. Contents can be updated in real-time basis since the widget interacts only with the server each time it loads. It's a small packages within the software that comes around. Perhaps you want to change the photographs. Let's say there's an event that happened in your company yesterday and you want to upload those photographs. You use a widget to upload the photographs out there and it changes every day. You might change the photographs, right? Probably a new catalog that can be uploaded every now and then, a new promotion can be uploaded every now and then. It's not only photograph, it is not only catalog. You can upload a video, you can upload a documents, anything that comes around. You want to edit the documents, obviously yes. www, everybody is aware of it, World Wide Web, widely used for publishing information, running business application over internet, access through browsers or web browser. So let us understand the summary application of internet tools. First is instant messaging. People are responding. In an iPhone, you have an instant messaging. In an iPhone, you do FaceTime. In an Android devices, you have instant messaging via WhatsApp, via Yahoo Messenger, whatever there are many things via Telegram channel. These are synchronous communication tool for text-based chat between different internet relay chats. Users who are logged in at the same time. IM providers such as Yahoo, MSN, and Twitter are largely replaced by IRC, that is Internet Relay Chat, and provide opportunities for advertising to users. Absolutely yes. IPTV, everybody understand the digital television channel that is made available via broadband internet, either as a streamed live podcast or archived podcast, wherein our customers or end users can actually access those programs as on when on required. This is what we will be talking about it. Then comes the content, the design, text, and the graphical information in terms of our web pages. Good content is the key to attracting a customers. You need to attract the eyeballs of the customers and retaining their investments. Usernet news group forums to discuss a particular topic. We have lot of forums around here, nowadays. It can be a business forum, it can be an MSME forum, it can be any interest forums. Within social media platforms also, there are many groups, many forums that have been formed all together. One of the typically accessed web forum is groups.google.com. We have another thing that comes around is Wiki, and that is the reason why I have clubbed usernet groups with Wiki, another kind of forum which is basically nothing but a collaborative incentive of web services, wherein each individual end users can edit it. Probably it has to be moderated by a moderator, and before it goes live. So that is what needs to be done every now and then. So media standard is GIF, or graphic interchange format, a graphic format that compresses algorithm based, used for simple graphic or simple photographs. JPEG or joint photographic expert groups is again a graphic format compressing the algorithm, best used for photographs, obviously, but natural. GIF might be used for a chart or something like that, but JPEG might be used for photographs. Streaming media, we can experience it on a real-time basis. It can be on a live web browser, or we can download it on a real network or RM format. Or video standard is MPEG and AVM, and sound standard are MP3 and WMA as the source file is concerned. So we have what I say, the functional barriers that comes around it with the procurement and logistic, finance and marketing. In logistic, it can be technological architecture, application data, and business processes. Like similarly for finance and marketing, we can have those firewalls, we can have those filtering process, as in who is to apply or who is to able to see and watch what kind of rights have been given, the admin rights to edit, the admin rights, just the rights to view, and so on and so forth. So managing the application infrastructure digitally, as the case might be, we are talking about infrastructure concerns the right applications to all users of digital business. Now, what are they? The issues involved have been concerned with IS managers. This is namely to deliver the integrated application, the data, the available format across the company. Traditionally, business have developed application silos or islands of information as on when on basis. Now, let me give you the three levels. First, different technological architecture uses different functional areas. Second, there will be a different application and separate databases for different areas. And third will be a process or activities followed in a different functional area. May also be different as on when on basis. Please come forward to avoid the problems of the fragmented application. Infrastructure companies attempted through 1990s to achieve some sort of an integrated position. Definitely yes. We have come with ERPs, or enterprise resource planning, wherein we are basically customizing everything to the requirement of the company in terms of application, in terms of data architecture, in terms of process architecture. You name it, and we have it. The prominent vendors are SAP, BAN, PeopleSoft, Oracle, as the case might be, for these kind of services. Now, we talk about the functional interactions. If you look into it, we are again, in this case, in the previous case, this technological architecture, application architecture, and business architecture were in silos. There were the barriers out here, right? But can we integrate horizontally also? And things can be done. And this is what helps you in integrating with BAN or a PeopleSoft or an Oracle software, as the case might be. We can go for uh, customization product altogether. So using different application at a different level, at the strategic management level, at a tactical management level, at an operational level. Now, if you look into it, the shades will tell you the ERP application, the knowledge management software, other data warehouse management software. So these are the software, the levels of permission that has been given or mining, data mining has been done from time to time as the case might be. The management issues, I remain simple and straightforward. Everybody, every client is looking at the service quality. Every application and integrations partners needs to go for external application software or hosting integrations with the partner system and so on and so forth. So in terms of managing external work, what do we go around it? Application development, data management, application servers, legacy application and data, web servers, and corporate database servers. What kind of things that needs to be taken into consideration every now and then as the case might tell it to you. We are talking about elements of digital business infrastructure that requires management. This summarizes some of the management issues and is obviously based upon the layered architecture. Remember the layered architecture, which I've already said it to you regarding the knowledge business architecture, the enterprise resource architecture, the database resource architectures, talking about the strategic forces, the middle level forces, the employee forces. If we have a different levels that comes across it, we are talking at the very beginning of the section, the applications of the infrastructure, right at the top, and the technological infrastructures towards the bottom, as the case might be. Yes, now is the stage of cloud computing, wherein we are doing everything not on our servers but probably on the internet itself. The use of distributed storage, processing on servers connected by a internet typically provide a software or a data storage as a subscription services provided by other company, and this is what is cloud computing is all about. It you have a number of servers interconnected and things have been stored out there instead of being hosted in your own servers altogether. In description, web services you may hear confusingly, but they access the cloud as a term of cloud computing, where a cloud refers is an internet network is often denoted as a clouds, as a diagram where a number of servers are clustered all together like a cloud, and thus it is not called as cloud. For example, if you're accessing Google Docs, they will be stored somewhere in the cloud without any knowledge of where it is or how it is managed, since Google stores data on many servers. And of course, you can access the document from any location, but there is an issue to consider about the data storage served by the cloud. Is it secure? Is it backup? Is it available? The size of Google Cloud is estimated that Google has more than 1 million servers running open source Linux software. Then comes as the virtualization. Remember, virtualization is another approach of managing IT resources. We talk about mainly how we deploy it within an organization. VMware is one of the forerunners offering virtualization services, which follows VMware 2008. The VMware approach of virtualization inserts a thin layer of software directly onto the computer hardware on a hosting operating system, absolutely a thin layer wherein you will have to go through that particular layer to access net probably, and if you close that layer or close that browsers, you will not be able to access the net thereby. So VMware is another approach of virtualization. This software layer creates virtual machine, contains a virtual machine monitor or a hypervisor, automatic supervisor, if I may say so, that allocates hardware resources dynamically and transparent so that the multiple operating system can run concurrently on a single computer without even knowing it. However, virtualization is a single physical computer is not just a beginning. VMware offers robust virtualization platform that can scale across hundreds of interconnected physical computers, storage devices to form an entire virtual infrastructure as the case might be. Let us understand with SOA or service oriented architecture. The we have spoken about VMware. Now let us understand what is SOA. Service oriented architecture is arranged software for an agent which communicates with each other to deliver business requirement. The main functionalities are three things. First is an interface with the service to which is platform independent. That means it is not dependent on any particular software or hardware. The interface is accessible through application development approach, such as Microsoft, .NET, or Java, and access to a certain number of protocol like SOAP or Simple Object Access Protocol, which is XML formatted. Messages, instructions, and return results to be exchanged between the servers. There is a delay out here. It is not on a real-time basis. Please understand. The second one is service is dynamically located and invoked. One service can query for the existence of another service through service directory. For example, an e-commerce services can query for the existence of the credit card. Authorization services, as the case might be, the service is self-contained. This service cannot be influenced by any other services. Rather than it will require a result to request from another services, but will not change the state. Within a web services, message and data are typically exchanged with XML. XML is much more dynamic and much more on a real-time basis, as the case might be. Mm, uh, SQL is much more dynamic and on a real-time basis. XML might not be that dynamic. It is mostly a static services, and it will not change the state as on when on required. So the service is self-contained. The service is dynamically located in work, an interface which is platform independent, as the case might be. This is what is meant by SOA, service-oriented architecture, as the case might be. So we come to the last slide. Probably we are seeing mobile commerce. Yes, e-commerce refers to both transaction in terms of financial and information in nature through the digital media. Similarly, mobile commerce or m-commerce refers to the wireless devices such as mobile phone, both for information and monetary transaction. While fixed access to the internet has dominated to date, to many developed countries in futures will change subsequently because of the mobile phones and the adoption of a higher speed service and more sophisticated, more smartphones, more better handset, as the case might be. So we will move from e-commerce to m-commerce. Things will be at your palm tops with your at the back of your hand. You can just open a mobile and you can serve access anything and everything, both in terms of commercial activities, both in terms of knowledge, in terms of accessing information, and so on and so forth. With this, I come to an end of this particular presentation. Thank you for watching this video.